Yeah, I mean, that's what the next 3 weeks and months after that is really going to be about, is we're looking for those guys. To some degree, I think you've got to produce on the field before you can become that vocal leader, but we've got a number of type A personalities on both sides of the football. So I think the guys that play well, I think they'll start to kind of naturally take that role.
And in terms of your experience as the years have gone on, what have you seen in terms of guys who can kind of have the ability to step up? You know, there are guys who will be quiet leaders, but guys that you can kind of say, hey, I'll give them license to speak up.
Well, I mean, it's just what's in your personality. I think it's hard to teach a vocal leader. You know, if it's not in your way, I don't think it'll ever be in your way. You can lead in other ways. You can lead, you know, by performance, by example, the way you study, all those things. You can lead quietly in the locker room, but the vote, like you're referring to a guy like a Simone. I mean, that is a natural thing, and you either have it or you don't.
Relentless on the back of the T-shirts, was that your idea? Was that kind of an organizational thing? And what does that messaging mean during training camp?
Yeah, it's an organizational thing. It's about a mindset. It's about a physicality. It's about no fear. It's about going after what we want and having a goal and not letting anything get in the way of that.
Coach, Terry Godwin was released today. What was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, we're just going in a different direction. I told you guys the other day we got a lot of good receivers here, and it was going to be a battle, and it's going to be.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Well, one last thing. When you talk about the receivers, the other day you were talking about how it's going to be a wild chase. I think wild chase was your word. There's a lot of huge guys. Is that anything to do with the Godwin decision that you were looking for those taller guys?
Well, I mean, there's place for smaller guys. You know, one of the best players I ever coached was Chad Owens, who was not a very big guy. Ben Cahoon was not a very big guy, but there's also positions, and they're the ones we're trying to fill, where we're looking for, you know, some bigger guys. We're also looking for a returner, so it's not exclusive to that, but yeah, I mean, the big guys are here for a reason, for sure.
And when you came in last year, was that an area that you noticed right away and you thought, we have to fix this eventually, get just taller guys more length at the receiving position?
I thought we needed to get more physical at receiver. And, you know, whether that's a 6'5" guy, I don't think it has to be that, but you can't have too many 5'7", 180-pound guys the way this league is going, where you can't cut on the perimeter anymore. You know, the DBs are beating them up. And that was one of the things, that was one of the main focuses we had this morning in our first offensive meeting is we have got to get more physical at that position.
Just very quickly on James Butler. With the experience that you've had with some guys, you know, Avon Coburn or Chad Cackert, from those experiences, what do you want to see out of James in this offense?
Just everything he did last year. I mean, James is a complete back. He can be an every down back. Whether he will be an every down back is, you know, something that we're going to have to decide, because it's a long season, and he's going to get the most touches of anybody on our offense. He'll have 20-some touches per game on average, so that adds up over the course of a season. That's why Ante's in here. That's, you know, why we drafted a young kid. So I don't think James needs to change anything. He's great in protection. He's great in the pass game. He runs it hard. He gets the tough yards on 2nd and 2 to 3. He does a great job in the red zone. So I just think he needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Can you speak to Ante a little bit? I think a lot of people here don't know him.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of watched him from afar when even from when he was at Calgary. We have similar last names, so he's got a little bit of a soft spot in my heart. Yeah, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I can tell you this: in the off season, I was getting texts from him about random things that are in install 7, when, you know, 95% of the guys probably never get past install 3, and so he's a pro. One of the things we talked about before we signed him was that he wanted to be challenged mentally with the system. He wanted to have answers for what the defense was doing, and I think this is going to be a good fit for him.
And he came in a little earlier than new guys do. Is that an impressive thing when the coach sees that? He's out on the field by himself every day for, I think, 8 days.
I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about him. I mean, he's been doing and acting like everything you would want as a coach, and I mean, he's going to end up being one of those leaders on offense, I think.